What is going on, Joyclicks? It is your boy, TKD. Winston here, back in here. I almost said Blazing Swords. Back in here on Joyclicks. With me, of course, my two luxurious co-hosts, Christian Buckley
Hello.
and Jack Martin. How you doing, gentlemen?
How'd you do?
We're 3.5 minutes away from Night. Is Night City 2 words? Because I see on the title, it's 2 words on the YouTube title. I don't know if it's like one word and there's like, you know, the camelback type of capitalization. You know what I'm saying? Is it one word? I don't know. Who cares? But
I would imagine it'd be 2.
Yeah, because like I don't think any legal location on the planet has city in its legal name.
that can't be
Right.
true, right? Atlantic City? New York City?
Jersey City.
Jersey City?
Hold on, maybe.
Right?
Maybe.
Wait.
Because I was like, the
Christian,
thing is,
you're
when
over
you
your
said
head on
that-
this one.
when you said that, I was like, well, New York City, like you don't like city's not in the official name. I was like, wait, yes, it is.
I always get confused when someone says, "Hey, I'm from New York City," and then I ask, "No, like which part?" Because I forget that it's its own. Like there's an individual New York City. I always forget about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm,
Oh well.
mhm.
Oh well. But not talking about New York, of course. Cyberpunk 2077, 2.5 minutes away from this stream. Do we have any type of things we want to see of it? At least from the post, I saw that we are getting a look at more weapons in Cyberpunk. You know, that's cool.
I
Yeah.
heard we're also getting life path, so classes.
Oh, okay.
It seems like this stream, compared to the other one, which is more focused on the world and sort of the idea of Cyberpunk, this is more focused on the gameplay, which is more exciting to me, at least. See what like is actually gonna. I don't think they'll show like a ton of gameplay. They already have. There's already like over an hour's worth of gameplay out there, but this is more like the systems
yeah.
of the
Yeah.
gameplay. So like what the guns are going to be like. The Christian mentioned like the life paths, which to me sounds like skill trees almost. So we'll see what that looks like, which is exciting.
Definitely. Yeah, I mean, I was pleased with the first one, you know, of what they showed there, how they detailed that like detective mode type thing. I forgot what it was called, but you know, that was cool. So really, I have no like, you know, rousing expectations. Really, is just I'm just down to see more Cyberpunk. I mean, why not? You know, I'm still now more unsure if I'm playing this day one. You know what I'm saying? Not really because of Cyberpunk's fault. It's really because of Valhalla and like all the other games that are coming out around there.
Yeah.
The one notably, of course, with Valhalla being I think like 2 days before or something like that. So I don't know, but
I think this
still
is a
excited.
day one for me personally.
Oh snap! Well, there you go.
I've been wanting to get invested in like a big RPG, and I think the last time I was The Witcher, which is funny, same developer. So I'm like very eager to like go head in and like totally into this game.
Right.
So I'm excited for it.
I think I might weigh on it, to be honest. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see. Cause like out of the two, definitely knee jerk. I want to play Valhalla more. That's just because like I know the sort of material. Like I've never played I didn't play Witcher or anything like that. So this will be my first game from them. But going into it, we're gonna bump the volume a little bit. Let's see what we got here. Yo, my stream is lagging.
You don't believe in no fate. Every day digging the grave. Step in the pit with the stakes. City of dreams, city of.
Hello and welcome to episode 2 of Night City.
I really want
Wire.
that Cyberpunk
This is the show from
shit.
us at CD
Yeah.
Projekt Red.
I want the bomber
where we
jacket
talk
so
about
bad,
all
bro.
things Cyberpunk
That's cool too.
2077.
It's flippable.
In today's
Yeah.
episode, we're going to be deep diving into Life Pass and showing you a
She has
brand new
Mako
gameplay
blue
video,
eyes, damn.
as well as having a chat to Philip from our quest team. Then we're going behind the scenes and taking a look at how Refused to bringing the band Samurai to life. And then we're showing you another new gameplay video and having a chat to Pavel, our senior gameplay designer, about just some
So 2
of the
gameplay
tools of
videos.
destruction that'll be
Cool.
at your disposal in Night City. So let's get started. Street Kid, Nomad, or Corpo. Which will you pick first?
I don't think it's the class I'd play, but I'm interested in corporate.
All of them sound interesting. I don't know which one I'm gonna roll with yet. I'm not sure.
Well, who do we have here? Grew up in Haywood. Whole street was my family. Neighbors helped each other out. Thought nothing of it.
That sounds like Norman Reedus a little
I'm
bit.
pleased to see you have nothing
A little
but
bit.
roots.
Born here, live here, die here.
Childhood memories. Hopping buildings. Running away from badges. Iron tasted blood from a split lip. Motherfucker. Got everybody fighting for a slice of the street.
Get the fuck out of here.
If you keep getting jumped, you find some stronger chews.
Fast and Furious.
Do you want to spend the rest of your days blasting scabs? Or become a legend overnight?
We have arrived. The Major.
Ready to get your cherry popped? Yeah, come on.
My childhood? Let's see. Racing my bobber for the first time through the hills. Oh, and first kiss in the middle of a synth cornfield.
We nomads choose who to make our family. A choice forges strong bonds and a higher duty that stands solid as an old oak.
My family's in pieces. That's why I'm headed for Night City.
Makes you an outcast among outcasts.
Never played it, but I get
This,
some Days Gone
no?
vibes with this
Camaraderie.
path.
No, definitely.
I know.
Yeah, a little
I
bit.
saw
Yeah.
it in your heart the first time we met. You know what I always liked about nomads? Your taste, no, hunger for freedom. Not easy to come by in Night City. Corp's got their
I'm kind of sold on this
claws
path
and
right
everything.
now.
Nomad.
I think it was the music that got me.
I have those reports you asked for.
They were supposed to be ready yesterday.
The world's going to tear us apart when the word gets around.
The world's never going to find out.
If I go down, you're going down with me. No, I'm not fucking joking.
This isn't a request, V. But no way you're fucked, right? You're the one who fixes other people's shit.
This is the
Working
Mr.
hour
Robot
south of
path.
counter intel. You're always fun.
I'm kind of curious.
Today,
I feel like I would
they
just
got
be
you to
inferior
zero
with all the
somebody.
people in this path.
Tomorrow, you'll get somebody else to zero you.
Like, what's your side quest?
It's the rules,
Is it report?
Jack. Want to be top?
Yeah.
Gotta have some skin in the game.
Yeah, but you're not on top. Saburo Arasaka is. And you're the pendejo who keeps him there. Work for yourself, live for yourself. That's the only way.
I'm off of those three. I'm leaning, I think, towards Street Kid. I think
Yeah.
either Street Kid or Corpo.
Philip,
It's
it is
Nomad
so
or
good to see
Street
you
Kid
again.
for me.
It's actually been a while since
I
I've
think
had
I'm
a
Street
chance
Kid
to
or
interview
or
you about
corporate.
Cyberpunk.
Hey, I mean,
So
if we
think
can
for
all just
today, we'll
choose
start with a
each of them,
question that everybody
we get a little
wants to know.
diversity in there. You know,
How
we
does
get
the
to
path you pick
compare and
affect your
contrast.
time in Night City?
It actually affects your time quite a lot throughout the whole game, but let's start at the beginning, because basically our game has 3 different starts depending on your life path. As an example, if you choose the Street Kid life path, you have lived most of your time in Night City. You know the streets, you know the gangs, you know the slang, you kind of know what's going on in the, let's say, lower life aspects of the city, which can of course give you lots of good opportunities also later on in the game. But if you start as a nomad, you actually used to be part of a nomad clan and a nomad family, because nomads that roam the deserts around Night City, that we call the Badlands, actually value their family above anything. But for one reason or another, you actually left that family behind, and now the beginning of the game for you will actually be how to get into Night City and how to make a new life there. Then you can also choose to
I like
actually
that a
be a
lot.
corpo.
That
actually
reminds
the
me of New
corporate life
Vegas.
path. And that
I
basically
was gonna
means
say
that
that's
you're
the
not
vibe I
at
was
home
getting.
in the streets of Night City
I think that's why I
or
like
in
it a
the
lot.
deserts of the Badlands, but actually inside the boardroom, because you rose the corporate ladder of the Arasaka Corporation, which basically gives you the ability to sometimes, read between the lines, read people when they're trying to do business, which of course can give you many nice opportunities later on.
So this isn't just about the start of the game. Can you maybe help people understand how this translates into the gameplay?
Yeah, so the thing is, we make Cyberpunk a real RPG, and part of that is that you can play your character from the start to the end. And of course, we have these life paths affecting the beginning of the game, but we wanted to make it so you have your life path opportunities throughout the whole game until the game is over. And as an example, we do that by giving you additional options in dialogues. So I can give you one specific example. And this is a mission where you have to steal a flathead robot from the Maelstrom gang. Basically, those Maelstromers stole that flathead before from a corporate transport. And the owner of that corporate transport, Meredith Stout, wants you to do something else. And this is an optional objective. And even within that objective, we want to give you some options. So as an example, if you have a corporate life path, you basically know what Meredith Stout is really about. You can read between the lines and you can get some additional options that maybe actually later enable you to do a completely different thing with the Maelstrom gang. And if you're a nomad, you know exactly some more details about how these Maelstromers would have even been able to steal a robot like that from Meredith Stout, who's part of the very powerful Militech Corporation. As a street kid, we, as an example, don't give you a specific new dialogue option in that dialogue, because as a street kid, you do not have a lot of experience dealing with higher-up people like Meredith Stout. But we want to give you additional options that fit your life path very well. So later, when you actually talk to the Maelstrom gang, one member of the gang offers you some illegal substance, but as a street kid, you actually know what this is about. You can talk some shop with him, and that might actually make that character like you a little bit more.
So Philip, I do have a couple of extra questions for you based on the video we just saw. And the first is about nomads. So the nomad life path, this starts in a place called the Badlands. Is this somewhere you get to visit even if you don't pick nomad to start with?
Yes, absolutely. So the thing is, Night City is surrounded by this huge landscape that we call the Badlands. And
I really like the idea of having
there
to
whenever
go
you
into
want.
the city.
So as an example, if you actually do play the nomad life path at the start and you are in the Badlands, you can even see Night City on the horizon.
right now, right?
And
Probably.
we want to give you the option later in the game, if you want to, you can just take your car and drive out of the city. You can go there whenever you want. Thing is, you might not want to, because the Badlands can be a pretty dangerous place.
Is 60 frames
because
on
time has
consoles?
not been very
Do we know?
kind to the Badlands. There have been many wars.
That's why,
in the
like, with,
past.
like, this
There's
game, I'm
global
leaning towards
warming.
just playing it
So
on PS5
most
to be
people that do live
to
out
be
there don't
100%,
really have another
you know?
choice about it, or are
Just getting the
nomads
full-
that
getting the
love this
full
life and are
gist
all
of it.
about it and are very battle hardened.
Both have,
We of course also
or
want to tell their
PlayStation and
stories,
Xbox both
because we
have
want to tell
essentially smart
many,
delivery,
many
right?
different
I think
like if you have it on
throughout the
PlayStation,
Cyberpunk
you'll get it
genre,
on
which means
PS5.
that you will also
I
find
think they
missions
confirmed it
that
for
lead
this
you out
game.
in the
I
Badlands,
think they said,
or where
hey,
you
PS4
deal
upgrade
with the
to
people
PS5,
living there.
Xbox One
So
Series
Philip,
X.
can you tell us a little bit more about the character,
Cool.
Padre? He's the guy we see giving his business card to Street Kid V.
Watching
in
this
the
kind of
video.
makes me
Who is
wish
this man?
that the Avengers War
Yeah,
tables
so
were set up
Padre
like
is actually
this.
one of the fixers in Night City. And
Like, just, like,
fixers
walking
are
Where people
people
were
that
actually
work as
explaining the game.
intermediaries.
Yeah.
So if someone who has a lot of money needs a problem solved,
These, I
they
think
go
these
to
do a
a
much
fixer.
better job of
And a
explaining
fixer
what
then
the
finds
actual game
people
is.
who can
Although
solve
the
that problem.
most
And
previous
these people
War
are
table
people
was
like you,
pretty good.
the
levels.
cyberpunks. Fixers are very territorial. So Padre specifically works from Haywood, which is where you as a street kid grew up in, so you already know him. You might have already seen another one of our fixers, who is called Dexter Deshawn, and he works in a different part of the city.
He's not.
So specifically Padre,
He's Rick
you might
Ross.
know him as a street kid, but
Definitely.
even if you played other life paths, you might sooner or later meet him, because he's operating in Haywood, which is a pretty big place with many good jobs. So if you want to make some cash there, you will sooner or later deal with Padre.
Philip, thank you so much for joining us. Now, on my first playthrough, pretty sure I'm going to be picking Nomad, but for those watching, we would love to know what you'll be picking. So have a think about it and send us a tweet. Don't forget that later in this episode, we're going to be showing you another new gameplay video
cool.
and having a chat to Pavel, our senior gameplay designer, about just some of the tools of destruction that will be at your disposal in Night City. But before that, let's
Yeah,
talk
but
about
I keep
music,
forgetting how
because
crazy the
music plays
soundtrack
a
is for this
huge
game.
part in bringing Night City to life. Now, in future episodes, we're going to talk about things like radio stations and even the original score. But today we're going to take a look behind
I really
want to
see how this game compares to GTA, because there seems like a lot of elements that are very similar.
This is GTA 6. This is it.
Mm-hmm. Much more of an RPG
I wouldn't write
focus.
these lyrics for myself. So it's
Should
kind
I
of
pause?
interesting to get into like
I mean, mute.
the mindset of who is
I
this
don't know, because
character
it's
and what
original
they
music for the
write
game,
about,
right?
Oh, that was original music, or is that licensed?
Yeah, they're
okay.
talking about Keanu's band.
Okay, cool. All right, then.
It's interesting to try to like catch
So
a
cool,
language
I know.
that's his and try to catch a language that's like a part of this game.
Can I mosh in this game?
There is a reason why we're here.
It was Piotr maybe who was a fan of the band.
He knew Refused and he knew my voice and he's like, oh,
You
that's
guys
the
notice
perfect
every
voice
single
for
docu video
John.
about music looks exactly the same.
It's so true.
And that they wanted, I guess, a
They have
sound
the
that
wide
was
shot
a
of the
bit
dude walking
contemporary
into the
from
studio.
when
Walking in with the
John
graffiti on the
had
back
that
alley,
kind of
yeah.
sort of
on
like
the
a
back alley.
anti-establishment kind of guy.
Gonna drag a corporal right on stage, make him kneel, douse him with gas, then light him up.
So of course there are things that you can relate to and like just like this
Wait,
outcast
we get
and
to
this
play as
rebel
him?
that's fighting against like the corporals and that's
I did
definitely
not know
something
you get to
that's
play
been
as him. That's
a
cool.
part of my life and a part of Refused life.
That's what
He
it
came
looked
out
like
of the
at
punk
least.
rock scene of northern Sweden.
He's like the future version of us, you know? So I think it makes sense. I think it totally makes sense for us to be here making these songs about him or for him, you know? So it's pretty cool.
Yeah. No trills. But yeah, but like wide vibrato.
And then I mean just sort of feel
Are your
Yeah,
Twitch
so-
streams going in and out too?
No.
Buffering? No. Okay, just me.
Make him kneel, douse him with gas, then light him
just like this outcast and this rebel that's fighting against like the corporals and that's definitely something that's been a part of my life and a part of Refused life.
We came out of the punk rock scene of northern Sweden.
He's like the future version of us, you know? So I think it makes sense. I think it totally makes sense for us to be here making these songs about him or for him, you know? So it's pretty cool.
Yeah. No trills. But yeah, but like wide vibrato.
And then I mean just sort of feel
Yeah.
slowly build sort of intensity.
We don't have a different mode than just going all in. So we really work.
Why
on
did the guy in the
songs, trying to
background
make
look
them
so
as good as
tired?
possible. Then they're not.
He was into it. He
actually
was feeling it.
our songs.
It's interesting as a musician to play another musician.
Damn, my Twitch stream is just not.
Try refreshing. Are you on the CD
Yeah.
Projekt stream?
Yeah, here, I'm gonna refresh. Come on, buddy. Come on.
Just
As gamers,
God, I haven't had. Jesus
you are
Christ.
just generally better humans, and the world needs you. Here at the Peak Humanity Procreation Facility, gamers
talking
from
about
around
screaming,
the
how
globe are
screaming's
donating
hard.
their superior
They're
DNA.
talking about screaming in the band? Okay.
I'm donating.
Yeah.
I'm
Okay.
donating.
A lot of frustration.
All right.
Producer was like, wasn't horrible, but it's not good.
Transcend
Try again.
humanity through
We're watching a Omen laptop advertisement right now. Has an i7 in there, you know. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Okay.
think of things like the rhythm and you think about the pitch and you think about all these things, but then someone comes in and like, that word sounded weird. I'm like, what? No, that's how I sing. But so it's been a very, a bit painful at times. But it's all right.
See this zone, I'm chipping in. Roll the bones, I'm chipping in. Belt that cone, I'm chipping in. Mayhem flows.
it's a very interesting thing to be part of. As a person that's not a gamer, I don't think I fully understand the impact that this might have. If people like these songs and if people are excited, then that's going to be great. I mean, we are spending a lot of times trying to get this right, trying to get it to sound like, you know, like Samurai would sound, you know. So it's quite interesting. It's a very different way of making music, actually.
You can already find 3 Samurai tracks available on streaming services: Chippin' In, Never Fade Away, and The Ballad of Buck Ravers. But we're excited to announce a 4th new song called A Like Supreme, which is coming to streaming services today. That means you can check it out once the show is over. Don't forget that if you're tuning in late, or if you just want to watch anything again, we will be uploading everything to our channel soon. Next up, Pavel and I are going to introduce you to some creative ways that you can solve problems in Night City.
AV, I have a job for you. A client of mine is making an arms deal. He needs protection. It could get hot, very hot. The gun dealers are Maelstrom. Alas, nothing ever transpires as planned with them. You better gear up for this.
It's that Titanfall smart pistol.
Yeah. Oh, they have a smart weapon that's like a shotgun too, so they're talking about Seek. Oh, damn, that's cool.
So V, are you willing?
Yeah, I'm in.
Pavel, thank you so much for joining me. Now, there was an awful lot in that video, right? Because it's more than just guns.
Absolutely. We have melee weapons, we have ranged weapons, we have cyberware, we have offensive cyberware, defensive cyberware, armor. We could talk for hours and hours about this stuff.
I think just for today's episode, we should keep it simple and let's just talk about guns. Can you tell us the different types of guns that will be in the game?
So we have 3 distinct types of guns in our game. We have power weapons, we have tech weapons, and we have smart weapons. Now, power weapons are the most similar to contemporary weapons. One thing they can do, which normal weapons cannot, is ricochet bullets off of surfaces. So you can hit somebody hiding behind cover or hiding behind a wall. Now, tech weapons, on the other hand, use electromagnetic power to propel a fully metal projectile to extreme velocities. What that allows them to do is to punch through cover or punch through walls to hit somebody who's not even aware that you're there. Smart weapons use guided missile technology to actually track targets in real time. So you can hit somebody who's dodging, running away from you, or you can hit somebody who's hiding behind cover.
So Pavel, Cyberpunk doesn't just contain FPS elements, right? It's also a fully fledged RPG. So can you tell us how you guys approached introducing those RPG elements into gunplay?
So I can tell you one thing, Holly, it wasn't easy to merge those two elements together. Now, we've spent a considerable amount of time merging the RPG and FPP side of our game. What the player will experience is that V changes from a small-time mercenary to a legend in the world of Night City. V becomes more and more proficient in using weapons as the game progresses. So they will see that reload times become shorter, the accuracy of your weapons grows, you will have faster aiming time, you will move faster with your weapons. Everything becomes more in your control, and that gives you more opportunities to defeat the biggest encounters that we've designed for you.
So I have prepared a few extra questions for you, Pavel, if you're feeling up to it.
Of course.
Okay, well the first is going to be, how do you find more weapons in Night City? Like, where will players be looking for them?
So I expect the players to look everywhere for new and exciting weapons. You can, of course, buy weapons at vendor shops, and they will house an entire catalog of weaponry that you can get. However, the best weapons that you can find will be taken from enemies or loot caches that we have everywhere in Night City. The weapons rarities range from common through uncommon up to rare and then legendary.
It's a safe bet.
And as they go in rarity, they actually climb in power. However, legendary weapons are very specific in such a way that they
Has the gaming industry agreed upon coloring system
that you will find on no
with
other
rarity?
weapons in the game.
No.
The
I heard
players
there was a
will
game that
actually
came out recently
need
that
to make
swapped
some
purple and
tough
yellow.
choices to find some legendary weapons because
Wait, because
maybe they need to choose
Borderlands
whether
Epic
to
is
kill
yellow,
a person
like the yellow,
who holds the
orange-ish,
legendary weapons that
and
they
then purple's
want,
below it,
or
right?
to spare
Yep.
them because
Yeah.
they like them as
Same
a
with
character.
Destiny.
Yeah.
So next question, let's talk about weapon
like white,
modifications.
green,
what
blue,
mods can
purple,
people give to their
gold
weapons in
slash
Night
yellow.
City?
Usually.
So we
that
have
should
two
be
types of
the
modifications
hierarchy.
in the game.
Like-
One
Mhm.
of them would
Fortnite
be
does that too.
modifications
Yep.
that we call attachments. So these
Is
would
it
be
Apex?
Apex
scopes and
has that.
silencers, and you can
Apex
see
has that
them
no green,
actually
though.
being attached to your weapon as you're playing
White,
the
blue,
game.
purple,
They give you statistics advantage, and they give you more opportunities in gameplay. The other part of mods would be software mods. Now these are basically small chips that you install in your weapon, and they
Same with Call
actually
of Duty,
change
actually.
the statistics of the gun. They can give you damage, they can give you accuracy, or they can give you more fire rate. Some of those mods actually change the gunplay on a more fundamental level,
Damn,
so
you
they
can-
can
you can
give
play
you
through this game
non-lethal
non-lethal?
rounds, biochemical rounds
interesting.
to tear through that
I like
armor
trying to do that.
even faster.
So I suppose for my final question,
Not that this
why
matters,
don't you
but
tell
this
us about
trophy
your
list is
favourite
probably
weapon then?
atrocious.
Which
Oh
is your
my
favorite weapon
God.
so far in Night City?
Oh,
Witcher's
man.
pretty
There are
rough.
so many weapons
Yeah,
that
Witcher's
it's
is pretty
hard to
bad.
choose
Is it
just
really?
one. But I
Is
can
it like
mention
time-consuming or just hard?
manufacturers with their weapons
Well,
that I
it's super
absolutely adore.
time-consuming.
The
Right.
first manufacturer would be Tsunami
you need to beat it
Defense
on
Systems,
Death March,
who
which is the
produces
most difficult.
sniper rifle Nekomata.
Are you kidding
That's
me?
a tech
And
sniper
there's some
rifle.
missiles in
That
there as
means
well.
that it can pierce through
It's
walls.
not the best.
So you can actually hit somebody who's hiding behind
And like, especially
cover,
if you're like
or who
100 hours
doesn't
in
even
and
know
like
you're
something glitches
there.
on you.
Of course,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
also
yeah.
like a close
You're done.
quarters
You're done.
approach. And what that needs is a shotgun. One of the shotguns that we have in the game is Budget Arms Carnage. Now that
I
thing
forget
is
if you can
cast from
equip 3
pure
weapons in this
steel,
game or
and
just
it weighs a ton. However, you can cut a person clean in half with it. Another shotgun that I absolutely
Yeah, I wanna
love,
see what the inventory
it's
management
for a more
looks like.
refined
Yeah, that
approach,
too.
I would say, is a smart shotgun, Kangtao Zhuo. That thing has 8
8
barrels,
barrels and a
and that
shotgun?
means it can track 8 targets independently. Now, killing an entire room was never simpler.
Pavel, thank you so much for
8.
joining me.
Thank you for having me.
Wow.
I'm actually pretty interested to see
I
what
like the
kind of weapons
Wolfenstein,
people discover when
sort of
they play
FPS elements
Cyberpunk
that
for
are in this.
themselves. Before we end episode 2, this is a reminder that those who wish to dive deeper into the lore can now pick up The World of Cyberpunk 2077. This is a brand new book created in collaboration with Dark Horse Books that will give you an extensive look at what makes Night City tick before jumping into the game this November. That is it for today's episode. Thank you so much for joining us. Don't forget that if you've missed anything or if you just want to watch again, we will be uploading everything to our channels shortly. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll be back with Night City Wire Episode 3 soon.
Plays great also on Xbox Series X and PS5. What a way to phrase that.
Oh man, well damn. Ooh, that's a cool looking statue right there. Okay. All right, y'all. Night City Wire, episode 2 in the bag, gentlemen. We saw some 8-barrel shotguns. We saw some seeker bullets and SMGs and stuff like that, and smart pistols and everything. How we feel about Nightwire City, Night City Wire episode 2.
Nightwire City.
Wire City Night.
I think this episode, maybe except for the rock segment, was paced a little bit better than the first one. I think the Arkham sort of detective mode part of the first one took up a huge chunk and was slightly repetitive after a while. But I really liked them opening up with like the life paths and showing us like how that's going to affect the game overall, especially the beginning. But as they mentioned, like it will come back at certain points. I think that's really interesting, and it's a way that you can have each player can have somewhat of a unique experience than their friends. Like we were mentioning, we all have preferences, so it'd be cool to talk like, oh, how does that path like change your experience with the game,
right?
And then I think showing off the weapons was nice. It wasn't like anything major, I guess. It was cool to see like the different variety between like smart weapons and like power weapons and stuff like that. Yeah, it was a nice little update. It was pretty quick too.
Yeah. I'm with you on pacing. I think this was a better like beginning, middle, end show.
Right.
Whenever I'm like thinking about this game when we're not seeing it, I'm like, am I really gonna like this? And then I'm glad they broke down the life paths today, because I feel like one of the things that could be this game's downfall is like if it's too cool, like if they're so self-serious, right? like like I feel like that could break this kind of thing. But seeing the corporate stuff, seeing the fact that like you just have these very dramatic moments of these like rich douchebags being like, no, I'm not lying, I need these reports, get these on my desk, like that's super stupid and fun. Like the way they were shooting the corporate stuff gave me like the beginning of Blade Runner vibes. So like it's nice to see that the world and the game has some variety to it outside of just stuff to do. So I think that was my biggest takeaway today.
Yeah, I mean overall, like every time I see this game after I'm done with it, it's like, yeah, I do want to play that. You know what I'm saying? Like it still looks great. What's really notable is what I think Christian brought up during the stream was that like the gameplay looked really good in this one for whatever reason, and I definitely started to see that for sure. Like I don't know if it was because like it was the first time we saw for an elongated period, as far as I'm aware, the Badlands, and maybe that looked super stunning or whatever with the lighting and everything. But even when we went into the city, like it looked really, 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 really well done. And maybe it was running on an Ultra PC, who knows? But it still looked great. I loved the seemingly like there's a lot of different diverse weapons in there. I think that was definitely my right home about moment, especially during this whole thing. Even though, yeah, like it was really cool seeing where everyone could start and how different everyone's start can be and how they all converge into this one main plot line that we'll go through. Even though we have 3 different backgrounds that we can choose from. So I'm sure that's going to be really cool. Like, and I'm sure the differences in how certain people treat you along the way is definitely still going to persist, I feel like, based off of what you chose in the beginning of the game. So it'd be cool to, see those contrasting things and how they all relate, when we're all playing Cyberpunk. But I thought it was really cool. The weapons were probably my favorite part. A lot of cool stuff in there that I didn't even I didn't fathom the notion of an 8-barrel shotgun. You know what I'm saying? So so here we are. So yeah, it looked good. It looked cool. I was happy with it, and I feel like it was definitely much better paced than the first Night City Wire.
Yeah,
and showed cool stuff too. Yeah.
I feel like I don't really even need to see more from this game. I'm already sold.
Saying, right?
But I feel like from what they showed today, it seems like a really great amalgamation of a Fallout game, a Wolfenstein game, and a GTA. And I'm all for that.
Yeah. And I feel like I keep going back and forth. Like I like the idea of these presentations, and for someone like me who starts like the further I get away from seeing the game, I'm like, am I really gonna do like? I really liked The Witcher, but I spent like 45 hours just doing side quests and called it a day. Like Jared in the chat brings up, it looks very daunting, and like, yeah. And I think that's another thing I'm worried about. Like, is it just so deep that I'm gonna get lost and stop caring about the main thing? Like, even Skyrim, I was like that. So, I think the regular check-ins and like seeing piecemeal all the opportunities in the game is a good way to highlight it and give me a better sense of what I'd be looking for in this game and what I'd prioritize. But yeah, I'm with you guys. So.
Yeah, like what Jared was saying, it does seem super daunting. But it's one of those games where I want to like block off time to play. I haven't really had like a huge RPG to really get into recently within the past 5 years or so. So I'm definitely hyped to sort of block some time for this game, and just this be basically my game for that fall and winter.
Yeah. And I know Kevin's brought this up a few times, but PS5, you think you're gonna wait for that, or do you think you're gonna just dive in on PS4?
Yeah,
I'm day one.
Considering that, I don't think it's a far-fetching to say that like Valhalla looks more designed on the PS4 and low-key meant to be played on a PS4 and maybe have limited benefits when it comes to PS5. Even though there will be an upgrade, like if I want to play on PS5, sure, whatever. But like, I think that Valhalla looks a little bit more in the range of a PS4 hardware as opposed to Cyberpunk. Even though Cyberpunk's been in development forever, you know what I'm saying? But like, it still seems and looks like it's going to be more intensive, you know what I'm saying? So I think I might as well just play it on PS5 and just get that experience. So I might like put off Cyberpunk till honestly 2021 or maybe like holiday break if I beat Valhalla by then, you know what I'm saying? Because on top of that, there's still Watch Dogs Legion. I'm screwed. There's too many open world games I want to play.
Let me play it on xCloud 4K. Just streaming that thing. Xbox, Phil Spencer, make it work. I know you got this deal. You got this exclusive partnership for marketing. Go all the way
on your Series S. You know what I'm saying? They got leaked over the weekend. You know what I'm saying?
I know it can't be on my iPhone for sure. So.
It definitely can't. It definitely can't. It definitely can't. It definitely can't. Hate to see it, but gentlemen.
But
no, go ahead.
We don't have to do the full ranking, but did you guys think this is better than the first one?
Yeah.
Like universally?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Definitely better than the first one.
Yeah.
Yeah, so ballpark that. Do you guys think it's better than the Ubisoft presentation?
It's tough.
Okay, yeah, that's where we get maybe below, but that's that's where we get closer to where it's gonna be for sure.
They're similar, but like I mean they're both digital events, but this is more just like here's some quick updates, where the Ubisoft one is like here's some big updates.
Or the state of play.
Oh, of the most recent one?
Yeah.
No.
Okay. How about under the state of play, right above Guerrilla Collective Day 1?
That's fine.
Yeah. Sure.
Yeah, sounds good.
There we go.
I have some funny things to tell you all. I've been looking on Twitter. There's been some interesting things going on.
About this?
No.
About Cyberpunk?
No, about things that are just unrelated. That are just like,
okay.
Interesting. Gotcha. Interesting.
Well.
But yeah, that's been Cyberpunk. Night. I always want to say Night Wire's Kevin. It's not Night Wire. It's Night City Wire. Episode 2. Episode 3, they said it's coming soon, so we'll see when that comes over. But until then, Christian, where can people find you?
Twitter and Instagram at Chris N. Buckley. Here, youtube.com/joyclicks. We will be posting the schedule for the week within the next half hour on Twitter and the channel, so look out for that. Because we got some streams coming up. Got a group stream tomorrow night. Brand new Ubisoft Battle Royale. That's going to be fun. And later today, we're live premiering episode 2 of My First One. And I'll be in the chat if you want to watch along. So
you love to see it. Also, side note, Jamo Can, I think you said his name.
It's Jared, yeah.
Jared. Okay, Jared says, is there a fun multiplayer experience like GTA? That's what keep me in it. I think they said that multiplayer is in development, but it won't be at launch, I think, right?
Yeah, I think they said it's a ways out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they set the ways out, right? So there is multiplayer, but probably in like 2021, 2022, something like that. But until we can play multiplayer, Jack, where can people find you? If you
Sure,
want to be found.
you can. Yeah, you can find me. Good luck. No, you could probably honestly easily find me. But more easily, you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Fascinated Jack. Like what Christian was saying, we got My First Mon that's premiering later today. So very exciting.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Sounds good. Of course, you're watching this on youtube.com/joyclicks. Make sure to stay subscribed to that, as well as Patreon down below in the description. Like the stream, like the VOD. Stay subscribed to JoyClicks. Keep up with the latest and greatest from your 3 fresh voices in video games. Also, if you want to follow me, youtube.com/PlayStation Source, as well as on Twitter at PSSourceVids, and my personal Twitter at TheKDS123. Thank you all for watching, and as always, it's pizza time.